Can you see yourself? Oh, it's Wesley. Say hi, YouTube. Hi, everyone. Wait, wave. Hi. Can you say hello to everybody? Good boy. That's hi, everyone. My name's Wesley. Welcome to my mummy's new channel. Hi everyone, I am Danielle Gavin. Welcome to my channel. This is the very first video on my channel, so I'm a little bit excited about this one. This is Wesley, my little bundle of joy. For my very first video, I thought it would be really fun to do a video about Wesley. He is 10 months old. He's just turned 10 months old yesterday. Yes, I know, you're almost 1. You're growing so fast. And I love watching other YouTubers and their baby videos, updates, monthly updates and things like that. I've been watching them ever since I was basically started trying to conceive many years ago. And ever since I got pregnant, I've been even more obsessed with them. Like, I just love watching them, and I tend to sort of follow along now with how old Wesley is with other people's monthly updates, because I just love watching them as he's experiencing them. For Wesley, as you can see, he's very vocal at 10 months old. He's talking more now than he ever has. Oh, and he's a little bit tired at the moment. I wanted to do a little bit of this video with him in it. He's a dear. And he's getting grumpy because he can't have the camera. So what I might have to do is pop this little guy to bed for a nap and then finish filming. Okay, so Wesley is in bed now. As you can see, my backdrop has changed. I've decided to sit outside just so that I don't disturb Wesley while he's sleeping, in case I talk too loud or anything like that. He's a bit of a light sleeper during the day, so I thought it would be a good idea. Now it's a little bit windy, so my hair's going to be blowing in my face, and you'll probably hear some wind in the audio, so I apologize in advance. Now that he's sleeping and I can actually focus on what I'm saying, welcome. I chose to do Wesley's 10-month update video for my first one because this channel is basically going to be all about myself and Wesley, and I thought what a great place to start. I really love watching other YouTubers and their families and their baby updates, and I've been watching them since I started trying to conceive. I was obsessed with watching everybody else who was trying to conceive and getting pregnant, and then I was watching their pregnancy updates, and now I watch the baby updates, and I tend to follow along with where Wesley's at, so it's really fun. So I'll just watch a few that, you know, like for now, for example, he's 10 months old, so I'll be watching other ones that are 10 months old, and I do watch ahead as well. But that's just what I've done since he's been a newborn, basically. I'm like 1 month ahead, and I just like to see where other babies are at and what I can expect. And I just really enjoy watching them, so I thought, why not make them? I enjoy watching them. Hopefully other people will enjoy watching mine. So it's worked out really well now, actually, that he's asleep, because I can, one, try and clear my mind and concentrate on what I want to say, but also because when I'm filming, he loves to grab the camera because he's like, oh, something new, ooh, and he wants to grab it all the time, and he gets really stroppy if I don't let him have it, and that's not nice for anyone to see. So that's good that he's asleep. Okay, so Wesley is 10 months old and he is just amazing. I can't believe that he's 10 months old. Well, part of me can't believe that he's 10 months old, and the other part of me is like, I feel like I've had him forever, and 10 months, what do you mean he's only 10 months old? I feel like he's been in my life forever. I couldn't imagine my life any other way now that I've got him. Most of the time, actually. There are days occasionally where I'll think back to, oh, I remember what it was like when it was just Ricky and I, and we didn't have a baby, and we could just do anything at the drop of a hat and, you know, do all that sort of stuff. But I would not have it any other way. He is absolutely amazing. He's my miracle baby. It took a long time for us to actually conceive him. We were trying for a really long time, and At one point we didn't think it was ever going to happen, and then it did, and I feel so blessed. We both do. Ricky and I both feel so incredibly blessed. And now he's 10 months old. So what's he up to now? He is talking, so he can say 3 words. So he can say mum, which he said first. Mum was his first word. He started saying mum at about 8.5 months. He, you know, started to go mum, 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 mum. And then it turned into mum, and then he stopped saying mum, and he hasn't said it really since. And now he says dad. He says dad a lot. Dad, 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 like all the time. He loves dad. He's a daddy's boy for sure. Anytime daddy walks in, maybe it's a novelty because he sees me all day, and then dad gets home from work and he's like dad, 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 and he gets really, really excited. And that's really sweet actually for Ricky to get home from work and be greeted like that. It's just amazing. I see how much his face lights up just as much as Wesley's lights up when he gets home. It's just beautiful. My heart melts every single night. And the other word that he says is milk. Boy, does he love his milk. He says milk all the time. Milk, milk, milk. And it was really funny the other day, last night actually, in the bath, I was trying to get Ricky to get him to say mum, or at least look at me and go, where's mum, where's mum? Because when I do that, I go, where's dad, where's dad? And he'll like look over at dad and he'll be like, oh, dad, like he'll smile and look towards Ricky. But when Ricky says it about me, like, where's mum, where's mum? Wesley's just like, nah, I don't need to see mum. I see her all the time. So he never looks. And I said to Ricky, like, he doesn't know who I am. It's really devastating. And then he's like, no, it's just because, you know, he sees you all the time. Anyway, last night in the bath, I'm like, go on, say mum. So Ricky was bathing him, and I was standing at the sink, and I was like, say mum, go on then. And so he was like, where's mum, where's mum? And Wesley wasn't looking. So then Ricky goes, where's milk? And Wesley just looks straight at me and at my chest. So he knows where his milk comes from, and it's hilarious. I'm like, I feel so like, I don't even know, like, he doesn't know that I'm mum, but he thinks I'm milk. He thinks no, he did look at my chest. I'm like, yeah, he knows where the milk comes from. What else is he doing? He's standing up, which he's been doing for about a month now, pulling himself up. The very first thing that he pulled himself up on was our couch. I remember that day I was sitting on the couch on my phone, and I was just quickly sending a message, and then I was like, he's quiet. So I looked over, and like right next to me, and he stood up. I was like, when did you do that? I didn't even know that you stood up. What? I missed it. I was sitting right next to him and he stood up, and I missed it. I mean, obviously I've seen it plenty of times since then, but I was just like, what? Why was I not watching? That's a lesson learned. Just try not to be on your phone when you've got your baby around, because you just, especially at this age when they're doing and learning so many new things, you could miss it like I did so easily. But it was very sweet because I looked down and he was just like looking at me with this proud look, like, oh, yeah, that's right, I just did that. And it was really sweet. And I was just like, hashtag proud mama, and then straight to Instagram. He's getting very, very good at crawling now as well. So standing, crawling, and he's starting to travel on furniture. So like he'll hold, like be standing up and then kind of work his way along. So I'm hoping soon he'll be able to let go of the furniture and at least just stand still and have that confidence in himself. But he's doing really, really well. I mean, he's only 10 months and I feel like that's quite an achievement. Not that it would matter if he wasn't doing it anyway, but it's always a relief as a parent when they eventually do hit the milestone and you're just like, oh yes, he can do it. Even though all babies go through these developmental milestones, it's just really, as a mum, you're just like, my God, my baby's the best baby in the whole world. It just stood up. And it's just really incredible to experience that as a mum or a dad or a caregiver or whoever. Like it's just amazing to watch them learn and develop. It's just the best. So his favourite things at the moment to play with are basically, or is anything that is not his toys. So anything that he's not allowed to have that looks like it's adult-like. So even if he's not allowed to have it but it's colourful, he's generally not interested. It has to be like black or grey or something that looks like it's definitely not his. and then he really wants it. I said to Ricky that we need to like clean out one of the kitchen cupboards and one of the kitchen drawers, like the lowest ones, because he loves to get into them, and I think it would be so much fun for him while I'm cooking and cleaning in the kitchen to just be able to like open one of them that's completely safe, that he can just pull things out of, like saucepans and spatulas and stuff like that, that he could just like bang about and just think that he's getting into up to no good. But it would just be really cute to watch that, so I'm gonna get onto that pretty soon. That is one thing that is new. He's figured out how to actually open drawers, so he still can't quite open the cupboards by himself, which is a good thing, but he can open drawers now, so we have to get those baby proofed ASAP. He pulls them open and basically is like this close to jamming his fingers because he like slides on it, and then it's like luckily there hasn't been any accidents yet, but it's only a matter of time. One of the things that he likes to do at the moment is walk around the house with wet wipes, water wipes. I don't mind that he holds on to the water wipes because they are like 99% water, and so if he puts them in his mouth or anything like that, I'm not concerned. There's no chemicals in them or anything, so that's fine. And he just walks around the house with it in his hand, and he's just like cooling along with it, and he's just like with the wipe in his hand, and it's so adorable. And so when we're cleaning him at dinner time in particular, like, and he gets really frustrated, like he doesn't like things like on his face, so we always give him a water wipe to hold, and then it kind of distracts him while we're cleaning him up and getting it all done. And so he'll be like, we'll be wiping one hand, and then he'll be like chewing on the water wipe, and then like we'll grab the other hand, and he'll swap it over and he'll chew on it while we're cleaning him, and then we'll just quickly wipe his face, and it's just adorable. He loves his blocks. We've got 3 lots of blocks for him, so he plays with them all the time. So he loves it when we like build them up, and then he can come in and just knock him down like Godzilla. It's really cute. It's like, come on Wesley, look at mummy's tower that she built, and then he's like boof, and he just gets so excited. You see his face lights up, and he's like, yeah, something else I can destroy, and it's just the funniest thing ever. I'm like, oh, we've got a little stitch on our hands. Books, he loves books, but he doesn't really, he's not patient enough for us to sit there and read them to him anymore. So he likes to, if we pull out a book to read to him, he'll like crawl over, grab it out of our hand, and then like play with it on the floor basically like it's a toy, and then he's like, what does this do? And then he'll like look at the pictures, and then he gets bored of it really quick. Except at bedtime, when we're putting him to sleep, we read him a book every night before he goes to bed, and he loves that. But of course he's content and occupied because he's usually drinking milk while we're reading the book, so that's why he kind of can keep focused on it. But yeah, if we try and do it during the day, he's just like, just wants to play with it like it's a toy. Oh, there is one book that he, well, there's 2 books that he really loves actually, because we've got so many books, but his 2 favorites are, one is a bunny book. It's in like an Easter sort of book, came out at Easter time. His nana and granddad actually bought that for him for Easter, and it's his favorite because it's like touch and feel, but it's one of the best touch and feel books. It is the best touch and feel book that he has. He's got a few of them, and this one is like really fluffy, and each page has a touch and feel thing that's quite pronounced, if that's the right word. All of the other ones, they have touch and feel textures, but they're really like, it's still just like a flat page, and there's really like just really soft texture that you can, you know, as a baby you might not even like think to touch it because it's not obvious. But this particular bunny book, he loves it because there's like fur and like there's obvious like touch and feel parts on the page, so he knows exactly where to touch to feel it. I don't have to kind of go, oh look, touch this part. He knows. And the other book is the Wheels on the Bus book that his auntie bought him. He really loves that. It's the wheels on the bus go round and round, and it's got the little musical buttons on it. Probably for a good couple of months now, I sit there with it and open the page to the bus, and I play the music button, and I go on the wheels, and I'm like, the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, and like just do it over and over again. And so now when the music's playing, he goes to the wheels on the page, and he's like, going like this. I'm like, yes, that's right, I go round and round. It's really, really cool to see that. Food wise, now that I'm not having fun with that right now, I have to say. It's been a bit difficult, a little bit trying really. We have gotten to the point where now he doesn't really like anything that I cook. It doesn't matter how bland or flavorful it is, he's just like, not really interested. I can puree it, I can leave it lumpy, I can leave it whole to try and get him to eat it. And he's just really not that interested. He really only wants pouches. And in fact, actually, it's getting harder and harder to get him to eat those as well. He's just going through a funny phase where he only wants, like, he'll eat rice. He loves rice. He will eat that all day long. And pasta. So I guess what I've been trying to do is give him some of my food, but I have to show him that it's rice. And if I put rice on the spoon straight away, he's like, no, like he's not, even if he can see that it's rice, he's just like, no. So we actually have to hold it and place it in his mouth, because he's like, yeah, okay, like I can see that it's rice and you're holding it, so it's not like pureed food or anything like that. So then we give it to him and he'll eat it, and then from there on he goes, okay, you've got rice there, and he checks the spoon. So once he's had it once from us handing it to him and he knows that it's rice, he checks the spoon then to make sure that there's rice on the spoon. So if we then try and give him pureed food after we've given him a bit of rice, he's just like, no, I can see that there's no rice on there. So we actually have to put the pureed food on the spoon and then the rice on top and then give it to him, and he's like, oh yeah, there's rice there, and then he'll open his mouth and eat it. It's okay. I laugh about it now, but it can be quite difficult. Although now that we've got that figured out, it's made it a lot easier, because before that we were like, what are we gonna do? He's not eating anything. But now, yeah, he's eating, at least he's doing that, so that's good. It's making life a little bit easier. So I can start making proper like foods again now, and then just making sure that there's either rice or pasta on the side that I can coax him with to eat it. So he'll have generally 3 meals a day. So he'll have breakfast, lunch and dinner. He's not really snacking at the moment. He's still drinking quite a bit of milk, so that's probably why he doesn't need snacks. He'll have milk in the morning when he wakes up, and then about half an hour later he'll have his breakfast, and then he'll have milk again when he goes down for his first nap, and he has 2 naps a day. So then when he wakes up he has lunch, and that's usually around midday-ish, and then he goes to sleep again at about anywhere from 2:30 to 3:30. So if he's tired at around 2, I'll start giving him his milk and getting him ready for his nap. If he makes it to 2:30, I'll start then, and then he'll generally fall asleep between 2:30 and 3:30, depending on how long he's drinking his milk for and how tired he is. And then he won't have milk again until after dinner, so he'll wake up and he generally naps. His last nap of the day is about 2 hours. First nap is about an hour to an hour and a half, and then yeah, the last nap, the second nap is generally 2 hours. So he wakes up at about 4:30, 4:45, sometimes 4 o'clock if he's having a shorter nap, and then he'll have dinner at about 5:30, bath at about 6:30. Then after his bath he has a bit of a play, because he needs to burn off just some of that energy from dinner, and then I give him his milk and put him to bed after that. So it's usually around 7:30 that we start the milk, and he is actually falling asleep, and he's usually asleep by 7:45, 8 o'clock at the latest. And the last couple of weeks have been a bit of a nightmare. They have just been crazily, like, he's just been waking up 3 or 4 times a night feeding. I haven't been able to get him to go back to sleep unless I feed him, and he was sleep trained previously, so it's kind of a bit of a shock. I thought I put it down to teething. Every time I would try and, I think it started as teething and then it was slowly like breaking his sleep training and becoming a habit. Because what was happening is he was starting to like not go down even in the middle of the night when it was dark. So I would feed him milk and he would be out cold, but the second I tried to lay him down he would just spring his eyes open and wake up and cry and would be inconsolable. So I had to sleep train him again. I might do a separate video on that, because this is probably already getting a bit too long for my first video. But he has come around since I sleep trained him again, and it only took a couple of days, but I think that's because, in fact it only took 1 day, and I think that's because I had sleep trained him previously, and so in my video when I do sleep training, my sleep training video experience, I will talk about the holistic, you know, the first time I did it and what I've just done recently. He has come back around now, so I did that 2 days ago, and now, you know, he slept through the night after I did it, and then he's sleeping through the night yesterday. So what is it? 3 nights in a row now he's been sleeping through the night again, and I feel like a new woman. I feel amazing. I can't believe it. It's so good. So he's been going to sleep, falling asleep no later than 8 and waking up at 7:30. So yes. I'm still breastfeeding him. So I've been breastfeeding him since the start, and oh gosh, that's been an up and down roller coaster for me as well, which again, maybe I'll do another video on that, because the experience that I had, I really feel like it's worth sharing, because when I was going through it, I just was online all the time trying to find articles and videos on YouTube and blogs and things of just anyone who had been going through what I was going through, just anyone that I could relate to and go, okay, these things are normal, or they're okay, or it's to be expected, and how to deal with it, or just coping mechanisms, which I didn't really find back then, didn't find too much of what I was looking for. By hindsight now, there was a lot of information that I could have applied to my situation, but I was so hormonal, and oh, anyway, like I said, another video, another time. So Wesley has 3 teeth, so he's got his 2 bottom ones and his top left one, which is the one that has been causing issues lately, and the top right one I can see is starting to, like, the gum is open, so it's starting to come through as well, so that hopefully won't affect his sleeping as much, fingers crossed. But I expect that will be here in the next week or so. And his first birthday is coming up, so I'm gonna start planning that. I'm actually really looking forward to it. Prior to now, I was like, being a mum, I was always like, why do parents always go so all out, or why do they even bother for a first birthday? Like, the baby's not going to remember it and that sort of thing. But it's definitely, now as a mum, I'm like, oh my god, it's my baby's first birthday. Like, this is a huge achievement. I have made it to 12 months as a mother, and my baby has survived. And I just want to celebrate everything, all his developments between when he was born and turning 1, and I totally get it now. So I can't wait. I'm so excited to start planning that. But I will leave that here for now. I hope I haven't missed anything. This is my first video, so I might be a little bit all over the place, but hopefully you enjoyed it and want to keep seeing more of me and Wesley. I am intending to do a lot of mum videos, like vlog style, of Wesley and I, and occasionally Ricky if he'll let me, and update videos for Wesley. Mainly I'm going to focus on my life experiences as a mum now. Basically anything that I can think of in my life that I might have experienced that I think could be of value to you, then I will do a video on it, and hope that it reaches people and helps people, and or at least people just find it enjoyable at the very least. One example, I guess, would be my trying to conceive journey. Ricky and I tried for a very long time. I think it was like 3 years. Woo. And it was a wild ride, let's just put it that way. So I definitely think I'm going to do a video on that. I have already done a blog post on it, and I've posted that today. That is on my blog with my friend Cara. Dan and Ra is the blog name. I'll link it down below if you're interested in reading my trying to conceive story, but I will do a video on it as well. So if you're interested in seeing videos like that, breastfeeding, trying to conceive, mum blogs, Wesley videos, then I encourage you to subscribe, and I'm gonna leave it there now. So I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.